Roma Wines presents Suspense.
All right, today I wanted to do a flip-through video. You don't have to look at my face, of my collection of radio program vinyl records. I feel that there's some crossover, as most of them are based off of genre fiction. I have like stuff like The Whistler, Suspense, Humphrey Bogart, Foundation, Isaac Asimov, Famous Monster Speaks, J.R.R. Tolkien singing Hobbit songs, some Sherlock Holmes, Inner Sanctum, Tarzan, some sci-fi giant ant thing. And I thought, what would be cool is most of this stuff is public domain. So if you guys want to hear any of it, let me know in the comments which ones, and I will record the record. I'll record the record. And there will be no me talking, just the record. And yeah, that's it. Just let me know. And now on to the flip through. All right, so I thought we'd start with my most recent. This is Sherlock Holmes Tales from Baker Street, starring Basil Rathbone, with Nigel Bruce as Dr. Watson, Holmes. Little Nigel Bruce imitation there. You're welcome. I haven't listened to these yet. It's a 3-record set. So these are not the movies. These are all original stories, different from the movies. They made like 14 of them. They were my favorite of the Sherlock Holmes title. And yeah, I don't know what else to say because I haven't listened to it. But it's pretty cool. 3-record set. So we got this Raiders of the Lost Ark. So this is not the soundtrack. This is dialogue. So it's basically almost a radio drama of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So I thought that was pretty neat. Love that painting. I wonder who did that. Anybody out there know? It's a gatefold. Ooh, hard to move these things around. There we go. Where did I get that? Zia? $1.99. Zia Records, Phoenix. I'm very excited to find this one day. It is the Faulty Towers at your service LP. I love Faulty Towers. You ever seen it? It's John Cleese TV show where he runs this small inn in rural England, and I don't know, he just plays like this sleazy, like money grubbing character. It's so funny. It's one of the funniest shows ever. Manuel. Okay. So this is dialogue from the TV show. So just like the Indiana Jones, they just put out the audio. So it kind of doesn't make sense without the visual gags and stuff, but cool nonetheless. Sorry to interrupt, but I forgot a couple things. Number one, the next episode of the Elusive Exclusive Book Society is going to be Roger Zelazny's 9 Princes in Amber. Our special guest this time is Eric Wagg. I've heard he's a Viking, a Canadian Viking. It is going to be on Secret Fire Books channel, November 12th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So you still got time. Get the book, read it, join in. It's going to be live. You can comment. You can ask us questions. Tell us your thoughts on the books. You are now exclusive, just like us. We're special. So yeah, Secret Fire Books channel, November 12th, 7:30, 9 Princes in Amber. Be there live. Another thing, I got done recording this whole video and I had 2 records that were in the wrong place and I wanted to show off because I can't skip these. They're 2 of my favorites. Number 1, Plan 9 from Outer Space. This is once again dialogue from the movie. This was a crazy find that I got at the flea market Not as cool as watching the movie, but still, you know, it's collectible. It's a collector item. This is the soundtrack, but it's the audio dialogue from the movie La Jetée, which is a film from 1962 from France. And it is essentially the original 12 Monkeys. So 12 Monkeys is actually a remake of this movie. And this isn't even really a movie, it's a series of photos with a narration over top of it. So it's someone like telling a story, just with the photos, black and white. It's, you know, creepy. And I would love to put this up, but there is no way. It would get flagged. This is Criterion. Put it out. It's a Criterion Collection movie. I do have the DVD. But if you can, some way to go check this out. Just a way to watch it. It's great. And now back to the regular flip through of the radio dramas. Poetry stuff here. This is not a radio drama, and technically shouldn't even go in this, but I wanted to show it off because I love it so much. Joe Louis versus Jack Sharkey has appeared on CBS Network August 18th, 1936. Joe Louis is one of my favorite boxers, if not my favorite boxer. He was just a powerhouse. I think he would, well, it's hard to say if he would beat future people because, you know, boxers get better over time, just like anything else. But it's really cool to hear, oh yeah, the Babe Ruth thing. Babe Ruth on the other side. Not as exciting, but Joe Louis, it's cool to just hear the match. Like, people used to listen to it. Like in 1936, this is how you heard. This is how you ingested boxing matches over the radio. And when you put this on, man, it feels like you're back in time. It's so much fun. This is number 202 of 1,000 copies. Not that it's worth money or anything. I think I paid $1 for it, but still. I don't remember what the Babe Ruth side sounds like. We got the Rankin Bass production of The Hobbit. The Greatest Adventure. Includes a 12-page book full of full-color illustrations. I don't remember if I have it or not. Oh yeah, it's still in there. This is a fun cartoon, if you haven't seen it. Yeah, very nostalgic for me. Then, you know what? I haven't listened to this. I totally forgot I got this. This is, get this fucking shrink wrap off of here. There we go. That's better. I don't care about shrink wrap. I always rip it off. I used to always keep shrink wrap on records, but then I decided it was dumb. So this is J.R.R. Tolkien reads and sings his The Hobbit and The Fellowship of the Ring. Man, I wish I had listened to this before I made this video. So it's him actually reading and singing it. Oh, look at that water damage. Oh well. Oh, that looks interesting. I don't know. I don't know how good of a singer Tolkien was. This is a cool one. Famous Monsters Speak. This one goes for some money. What did I paid $6. That doesn't seem right. I don't know. Maybe I got lucky that day. Classic Universal Monsters. What does this sound like? I think this is... Yeah, it's not Bela Lugosi or... Boris Karloff. It's... I can't remember. But it's collectible, obviously, because it's Famous Monsters. And Here's one for all you sci-fi guys. We got Isaac Asimov, Foundation, The Psycho-Historians, read by William Shatner. That's some sticker damage. It's not part of the artwork, unfortunately. Looks like it was a library copy. Yep. AA County Public Library. I did listen to this, and I remember being not that impressed. But if you guys want, I'm pretty sure this is like public domain stuff. I could put this one up there, record it, and put it up on the channel if you want to hear it, or any of these. Got another Sherlock Holmes with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce, radio drama. The Bruce Partington Plans. Oh, cool drawing. Mr. Chameleon solves the perfect maid murder case. That's another one I just recently got. I got it at this store, and it had, I don't know what you would call it. It had a bunch of stuff. Like, records and just old stuff. It was like a curated thrift store almost. The lady was really nice, and she was like talking to me, and like I felt like uncomfortable. So I was like uncomfortable not to buy anything. So I was like, I'm just gonna buy a record. So I was like, okay, this, because I don't know, I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I got another Sherlock Holmes. Got a Dick Powell as Richard Diamond. Some noir here. The Juice Bar Caper, the Stick Pin Caper. Got some private detective type stuff. We have an episode of The Whistler and an episode of Mysterious Traveler. They were those two shows were like suspense shows where like murder mystery, but also it could be like paranormal or kind of horror. I have a Whistler all by itself. That's really good. Not very exciting. I like this. Dorothy Roberts did the whistling. That's cool they gave her credit. You didn't usually see people getting credit for everything back then. They credit her for whistling. Have another of the Radio Great series. Whoops. Sam Spade. I don't know, Sam Spade, Maltese Falcon, has broadcast starring Howard Duff. The Boffio Cup Caper. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Edmund O'Brien in the Amelia Harwell matter. These are not excerpts, but complete 30 minutes programs. Johnny Dollar, insurance investigator. Oh, I did a review of a book called The Hook. That was an insurance investigator crime story. 1950. No, this wasn't written by Dashiell Hammett. It said he was created by Dashiell Hammett. This is my favorite of the radio drama shows, suspense. You probably see me wear that shirt sometimes. This one stars Humphrey Bogart with Lorene Tuttle in Love's Lovely Counterfeit. Heard on March 8th, 1945. Sponsored by Roma Wines. Suspense. Frank Lovejoy. These are all, if you ever want to hear any of this stuff and don't want to wait for me to upload any of it, it's all on the Gov website. I forget what it's called, but I'll put the link in the descriptions. And a lot of these are already on YouTube. Just look up Suspense or The Whistler radio broadcasts. People put them up on Spotify and stuff. I mean, it's all public domain. So I can pretty much put up any of these, I think. Maybe not the Indiana Jones, but... Oh, here's The Whistler. Let me get the shrink wrap off. Excited to find this. It was sealed. I got it at the yearly Phoenix book fair. Got this sealed copy of The Whistler radio broadcast. That just looks so cool, so of the time. I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Right? You know who does the whistling? Dorothy. I forget her last name. Dorothy something. She does the whistling. Excellent painting there. So this, I got another Sherlock Holmes. This one is the movie. And it says that it's the movie soundtrack, but it is not. It's not the soundtrack. It's just the dialogue from the movie. The Pearl of Death. That's a good one. I think I was going to do a video where I ranked the Basil Rathbone movies. I think that they actually get better as they go along. The first three aren't as good. They did the first few of them in the era of Sherlock Holmes, and then after that, I forget what studio it was, but they went to like sort of B movies, and they took the time of the stories to the current time. So it was like from the 30s and 40s, and they fixed his hair. In the first one, his hair is it's abominable. It's abominable hairdo. But this is, yeah, the Pearl of Death is a good one. Oh, it has the creeper in it, yeah. The creeper stalks to kill. Holmes. This is another in the line of like suspense type stories where it's like horror, mystery, inner sanctum. Excellent cover there. It's like something that would be put out nowadays, not back in the 60s or whatever. Most of these records are from the 60s. They didn't put these out on vinyl in the 40s. You had to hear the radio broadcast, and that was it. If you missed it, that was it. This is from 1941. Yeah. Oh, Birdsong for a Murderer. It has Boris Karloff. Broadcast date unknown. Elixir number 4 with Richard Widmark from December 12th, 1945. Look at the pattern. Like plays tricks on your eyes. Like you almost start to see stuff in it. Right? Or am I the only one? Yeah? We'll spin those mushrooms I ate this morning. I really like the cover of this one. Tarzan, original radio broadcast. Oh, did we move? What happened? Yep, our book fell off. Is that center? Drives me crazy when I record these things and stuff isn't centered and I don't realize it till the end. Better? Straight? Okay. So, yeah, Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan. It's getting a glare. Let's get that off there. I don't know, I just like that solid background, the circle. Cool comic book style artwork. This is this the radio drama or is from, yeah, this is the radio broadcast. I don't know if I listened to that one. The First Man in the Moon. This one we're going to keep the shrink wrap on because it has this sticker here. $1.45. I am Professor Kabor. I have traveled 236,000 miles to become the first man on the moon. In the moon. Got a giant ant checking some spacemen. High Camp Adventure. This is, I think this is for young adults. This was made purely to be put out as a record. It's not a radio broadcast. And I got the Maltese Falcon, Humphrey Bogart. This is the radio broadcast from 1946. Plus front page starring Pat O'Brien, also from 1946. So, well, they must have really, they really shortened that. I don't remember. I know I've listened to it, but I don't remember how they crammed it all into one side. At that, even if they did it on the full record. We have Tron. This is like the Indiana Jones. Get that shadow off there. Actual dialogue, sound effects from the film. Look at those sci-fi colors. That is banging. Brits. I think that this might be my favorite Indiana Jones too. It's the Temple of Doom. This is the dialogue. Includes 16-page full-color souvenir photo book. And his iconic hat. Not in his jacket though. You know where George Lucas got that from? It's from an Alan Ladd movie called China. Alan Ladd. It's an original adventure action star. So we gotta have some shadow. You knew that was gonna be in there. Death from the Deep. The Devil Takes a Wife. Orson Welles stars in Death from the Deep. 1937. It's cool. I like the pulp style cover. A little drawing on the back. Peter Lorre. I'm gonna do a bunch of bad imitations in this video. Here we go, mystery in the air. It's hard to do that without laughing. The Mask of Medusa, the Queen of Spades. This is, where did I show? I think I showed this already somewhere. But yeah, he's always entertaining. Mask of Medusa. Their radio version of the 1934 film British Agent. Errol Flynn. Look at that drawing. Yeah. Errol Flynn and Francis Farmer in British Agent. I have never seen it. I don't remember if I listened to this one or not. Bulldog Drummond. In the case of the atomic murders. 1947. I love all these bulldogs. This pink's cool. Are you guys getting the visual effect there? It's not on there. Oh, that's trippy. I really didn't eat mushrooms, I swear. I'm just like this. Boston Blackie, starring Richard Colmar. Case of the Three-Way Split from 1945. Looking a little Lee Van Cleefish there. A1 Detective Agency, Carlton E. Morse's I Love a Mystery. Original radio broadcasts. I don't remember this one. I Love a Mystery was a series. 1939. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what to tell you. It's a much better cover. Murder My Sweet, a classic radio crime drama starring Dick Powell as Philip Marlowe. As heard on the Lux Radio Theater, June 11th, 1945. Murder My Sweet by Raymond Chandler. Looks like it was the movie and they just took the dialogue from it. I'm not sure. Look at that cover again. Yellow and blue. That looks very striking. This one is like a split, like a true split, because it has Fibber McGee and Molly, which was like a comedy show, and then Bulldog Drummond on the other side. I love how cheap it looks. Like it's like a cheap cover and it just has the one color and the black ink. It's like a punk record. Yeah, look, even the back, there's nothing there. It's yeah, like a bootleg or a punk record or something. Another Jeep disc. Not cheap, Jeep. I think I listened to that Fibber McGee and Molly and old comedy. That comedy from that era doesn't usually hold up. I like some of it. There's some Red Skelton I listen to. I got a bunch of Star Trek, so I'll try to make this quick. What are we at? 26 minutes already? So these all star the original guys, original players. Original stories for children inspired by Star Trek. Oof. Oof. Tell that's later era from the movies. Everyone's looking all puffy, old, hairy. McCoy's looking all hairy there. He's buttoning up that shirt. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, so these are original stories just for these records. And it stars the original cast. And another one, Passage to Muave in Vino Veritas. It's in Vino Veritas. We'll Leaving Las Vegas for you. The Crier in Emptiness. Could they get a lower res picture here to put on the cover? Who we got? Look at that. Yeah, look at this. Look at those costumes. It's like, just slap this thing on your head and we're going to take a picture. Put my wife's dress on. Nice. Much better cover. The comic book cover. Time Stealer, Starve of Fleaver is written by Alan Dean Foster. Oh, all of these are, except for the first one. Interesting. Yeah, look at that. Look at that artwork. Oh, that's good. This one is not a radio drama. This is an interview with Gene Roddenberry. Kind of talking about the history of Star Trek. And, you know, all of that, all of the stuff on the show where it has all the different people from the different backgrounds and different races and everyone getting along, that dude was very true. That was on purpose. This guy is, I listened to this and, yeah, he's a very left-leaning fella. He very much talks shit about on the right on here. So if you're one of those touchy political people, you might not want to listen to this one. Unless you already agree with them. But yeah, it was interesting. Interesting to hear it. I was like, whoa, he ain't playing around. He sounded kind of like a revolutionary on this record. Got a radio cliffhangers here. This is I think this is a bunch, yeah. So we got some Flash Gordon, Little Orphan Annie. Oh, a Chandu. Nice. Charlie Chan. Sorry, any Asian people watching. Adventures of Jungle Jim. I Love a Mystery, again. Kind of looks like a comedy. Fu Manchu. Dan Dunn. So it's like a compilation. Chandu. Very awesome. And finally, I think one of my most interesting ones is the one I showed in the other video, the Nick Carter Master Detective. I love this very pulpy cover. Look at that. And it has some interesting facts here on the back. Nick Carter first appeared as a serial story in the New York Weekly in 1886. That blew my mind when I first heard that. I had no idea that Nick Carter was that old. The serial was called The Old Detective's Pupil and was written by John Russell Coryell. Coryell wrote half a dozen more stories about Nick Carter for the New York Weekly and then turned to writing other things for Street and Smith. The next writer to produce these stories was Frederick Day, and he continued to produce them for 17 years. After that, several other writers were hired by Street and Smith to produce more Nick Carter stories. And it just keeps going. Like, when did they stop doing it? I think it was still going in the 80s, like 100 years. 100 years of Nick Carter. I had no idea that it was that old. It's very cool. So, yeah, I think this is all public domain stuff. Maybe not the Star Trek. But if you guys want to hear any of it, just let me know in the comments. And I will record it and put it up without me talking or anything. Just the record playing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.